Let me fix this. Damn it. All right, I got it fixed. So, first of all, I'm going to get back to Megadeth, Lane Staley. After all, John Farnham and the Australian bands, Lane Staley and Megadeth, are the three bands that have primarily made the reaction channel part of my channel very successful. I would already be posting car club videos, but I had a wreck in my car. I just don't want to tell everybody a pity party story, you know. I'm trying to get over that. I have one of you that have been helping me through that. Just get over the feeling guilty for feeling guilty, I guess. Alan Watts has a great lecture on that, by the way. So, I'm going to get back to those bands. I'm going to post more posts. I've already got the door on my car. I hydroplaned and a parked car come out of nowhere and slammed into me. I don't understand. I still don't understand it, but damn parked cars. A little band that a lot of you have recommended, especially, like I said, K-Cap, who had a great conversation with. And I love constructive criticism. I love to learn. My father taught me that knowledge is power. And my father was gone a lot because he worked on the railroad driving a train. So, great provider, great man. Wasn't around a lot, but for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. But still and yet, I kind of learned my own way as far as things like that. But he always taught me common sense ain't common, and knowledge is power. So, y'all have given me so much knowledge on Jimmy Barnes and John Farnham. And by the way, Kingdom Soups, you took John Farnham not only to the This Little Channel, all the way to the Charismatic Voice. I liked in the premiere. I was like,
oh no, the Charismatic Voice is going to analyze the Charismatic Voice.
So, yeah, thought that was fitting. The pieces fit there. Little bands will get that. So this little band is I don't know much about him. I'm about to find out right here. Also, my personal opinion on Jimmy Barnes is the man can sing. And I heard a lot about, people said, you know, that's one of his greatest performances ever. Other people say he was lit and that was one of his worst performances ever. And that John deserved him to be in a better state of mind. Which I can relate to, as Alice in Chains' Lane Staley was a very humble, great man. Awesome vocalist, by the way. He's in my top 5. Anyway, the point is he stayed high a lot. He has helped save a lot of lives by his honesty about his drug use. That's why he's still demonized more than Kurt and Chris Cornell and all those that died in the same time period. So, the point of that is, I feel like Jimmy and John have crossed paths a lot, which I've been told by several of you that this is the case, and they were really close, and they never got jealous of each other, even though they might have knocked each other off the top spot here and there, maybe more than once, and even played in the same bands. Or the drummer for Little River Band ended up playing with John Farnham, I believe. Is that right? I don't know. I know you're going to comment below, but yeah, if you would, correct me if I'm wrong. Pub rock. I've heard this pub a lot. Okay, so I just made a blooper that will be in the blooper reel. But I wanted to say this now. I had a ton of bloopers from the Anzac Day videos, but I didn't think that was appropriate. So moving on. You've already seen the intro. It's Cold Chisel. So I know what you got to say about him. Oh, Wikipedia here.
This article is about the Australian rock band. For the cutting tool, chisel, cold chisel. Cold Chisel. Don Walker, Ian Moss, Jimmy Barnes and Phil Small. Cold Chisel are an Australian pub rock band, which formed in Adelaide in 1973 by mainstay members Ian Moss on guitar and vocals, Steve Prestwich on drums and Don Walker on piano and keyboards. They were soon joined by Jimmy Barnes, at the time known as Jim Barnes, on lead vocals and, in 1975, Phil Small became their bass guitarist. The group disbanded in late 1983 but subsequently reformed several times.
So, who sang for Cold Chisel before Jim to become Jimmy?
Times. Musicologist Ian McFarlane wrote that they became one of Australia's best-loved groups, as well as one of the best live bands, fusing a combination of rockabilly, hard rock and rough house soul and blues that was defiantly Australian in outlook.
This is what the drug talk was about. I'm not saying Jimmy was on drugs. I think everybody's on drugs. If you take aspirin, you're on drugs. But so, it's whether you abuse them or not. And yes, you can abuse aspirin. It's killed more people than marijuana. I mean, 0 is a pretty good number. So, I guess what I was getting at is, I think John probably, I'm sure John has a better voice than Jimmy. From what I've heard. I've only heard one song. Makes me too. And again, some people say that was his worst performance. And he only sung one verse. But it seems like Jimmy was a little more of a rebel rock and roller type, walk on the wild side, if you will, than John. And I know John had his taste. And I watched several interviews, by the way, of John about his family, I might be saying this wrong, the Wheatley family, Glenn, who passed away, and his wife. And so, yeah, I've been jumping down the rabbit hole, even when I'm not on whatever you call this phone camera web thing. I grew up with beepers, guys and girls. So, grew up 5 1 3 8 0 8. Turn it around, look at it, it says boobies. Fun fact. I don't know why the hell I told y'all that. Hell, you can do it too. 1 1 3 4. Turn upside down. Hell. There you go. Learn something new every day. Old tricks taught by an old dog to a new generation. New sensation. I know y'all appreciate that. I'm gonna shut the hell up. Let my computer read here goes. It speaks better than I do.
8 of their studio albums have reached the Australian top 5. Breakfast at Sweethearts, February 1979. East, June 1980. Circus Animals,
I was born January 18th,
1982.
79.
Number 1. 20th Century, April 1984. Number 1. The Last Wave of Summer, October 1998. Number 1. No Plans, April 2012. The Perfect Crime, October 2015. And Blood Moon, December 2019. Number 1. Their top 10 singles are Forever Now, 1982. Hands Out of My Pocket, 1994, and The Things I Love in You, 1998.
Okay,
At the ARIA Music Awards,
they were introduced into the Hall of Fame. I guess I should let that play. Okay, here we go. This is what we're going to listen to. Let's go back. I'm sorry.
Australasian Performing Right Association, APRA, listed their single, Khe Sanh, May 1978, at number 8 of the all-time best Australian songs. Circus Animals was listed at number 4.
That's what we're going to listen to. So let's do that right now. Well, as soon as I get it pulled up, because I'm an idiot, I'm not ready, as usual. It's early in the morning for me. I stayed up late yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Which is already tomorrow for y'all. Man, this is confusing. Y'all got me like jet lagged. Hey, I said y'all. I didn't say guys. By the way, it's today. I'm going to get to you. Make sure I'm saying it right. Carolyn, maybe. Yeah, Carolyn. Yeah. You're Kane, Sammy Dog. You're all great people. But Lizzie, it's today. You can send me as many paragraphs as you want. Dr. Cap. Did I say K-Cap earlier? Dr. Cap is who this song is for, okay? It's for you all. I know you all, but that's who I had the conversation with. Oh, and it was about thumbnails. Somebody make me a template, please. Pretty please. Cherries on top, whipped cream. Something that will identify all my videos in a way. That's something I ain't been able to figure out. I get like a 50-50 score on the vidIQ thing for my thumbnails, but I don't have a personalized other than my logo, and I don't put my logo on there. That's like putting your face on the side of your damn car. That ain't cool. Of course, King of Suits, Glenn Dot, Pete Fluffy, Jennifer Anderson, Rosalind Jocelyn, Joel Simon, The Ghost, Mark Baston, Big Paul, love it, Fiona, George Liebran, Escamiti, Kirk McCune, yeah. So on the NXS video, I don't know if y'all seen it, but Kirk is Elizabeth Charles' husband for the Charismatic Voice. Man, y'all can look this up, by the way. Everybody, this is under the NXS video. He put, can you do Walk Like an Egyptian? Or no, he said he was here for the Walk Like an Egyptian. Sorry, different video. He requested a song, and I went and looked at it. It was something that was, I thought he was being serious. He was not. I did walk like an Egyptian in that, didn't I? How do we know that's how they walked? What, because of that one painting like that? They might have been stuck that way. Or something. Just, I don't know. That was terrible. Is this 15 minutes really already? There's no way. That's impossible. Oh my God. It really is 15 minutes. But, I mean, I've never heard Cold Chisel. I didn't know anything about the band, so we looked into it. We got some subscriber call-outs out. Yeah, we made some progress. Or I just talk a lot. I'm sure it's mostly the second. Jimmy Barnes, Cold Chisel. I didn't know how to pronounce that. I got the lyrics pulled up, by the way. Real quick, let me see how to pronounce that.
I left my heart to the sappers round Khe Sanh, and my soul was sold with my cigarettes to the black.
Khe Sanh. Cold Chisel. Khe Sanh. Let's do it.
I left my heart to the sappers round Khe Sanh, and I sold my soul with my cigarettes to the black market man. Had the Vietnam cold turkey, from the ocean to the silver city, and it's only other vets could understand about the love of God and dark side guarantee. There were no V-Day heroes in 1973, and how we said and I said the harbor, I saw it open by the good of Kelsey, and she was found and I was home to lucky land. She was like so.
Okay, so I love the lyrics in this. It's well written. I led my heart to the sappers in Khe Sanh, around Khe Sanh. And my soul was sold with my cigarettes to the black market man. I had the Vietnam cold turkey. Yeah, I had the Vietnam cold turkey from the ocean to the Silver City. And it's only other vets could understand it. Yeah, that makes total sense. About the long forgotten dockside guarantees, how there were no V-Day heroes in 73. How we sailed into Sydney Harbor. I saw an old friend, but I couldn't kiss her. She was lying, and I was home to the lucky land. I noticed Jimmy, he looks a little tipsy in this performance more than he did the other one. But he's doing great. It's really, I follow a lot of vocal coaches, and for one, I have a big hole in my throat, and that's how I started this channel. I was trying to get my art back because I laid my guitar down for a long time, quit singing. Because, however, I didn't have a great voice, I could sing well. So there are people that's why I have no teeth, that's why the left side of my mouth is numb, that's why I can't talk exactly right. It's in a terrible accident from loss of oxygen in my brain. That's when I figured out I needed oxygen. Right after I got out of jail, changed my life, started doing better, I had this accident. But, you know, no use worrying about why that happened. If you want to chalk it up to karma for all the times something didn't happen, that's fine. I try not to chalk it up to anything but life. For my terrible accident, somebody survived a near fatal one. That's the way I look at it. His singing style, though, is very nasal, and his diction isn't clear, but I don't think he's trying to be. It's more about almost like a fatigue from the traveling and anxiety and everything. It's like, so you're just mumbling this shit in your head, you know. So I may be totally wrong, but that seems to be kind of why he's singing the way he is at the moment. In the moment. All right, good.
Started off and about a good Khe Sanh. And she was down and I was home to luckily. She was like so many more from that time on. The lives are all so empty until the foundation was one. The legs were either knowing, but their minds were always cold, and their hearts were held in fast submersion. And the legal pads were yellow. I was all paid by the sea. And the telex is glad where the gunshots was a bit. A drop box make me jump, and I never stopped the dream. While the growing need for speed and overheat. So I worked across the country for anywhere, trying to find a place to settle down where my mixed up life was there. I held a job on a lorry, I fired shovels when I could, but the lifeline nearly drove me round the bend. And I traveled around the world from year to year.
He sung quite a few verses there quick. She was like so many more from that time on. Their lives were also empty until they found their chosen one. And their legs were often open, but their minds were always closed. And their hearts were held in fast suburban chains. And the legal pads were yellow, hours long, pay packets lean. And the telex riders chattered where the gunships once had been. Car parks made me jumpy, and I never stopped the dreams or the growing need for speed. It never came. There's the drugs, people. I know it has a big part to do with mental health and war, and again, like I said in the previous video, there are many more studies of things that are way less addictive and don't have to be consumed daily to help you with these things, or to try anyway. Masking them with medicine that basically makes you numb and robs you of your clarity and yourself. That's not the way to go, in my opinion. So yeah, their lives were also empty until they found their chosen one. But their legs were always open, but their minds were always closed. I love that. She was lying, and I was, and their hearts are held in fast suburban chains. So yeah, it's hard to come home to suburbia when you've been in hell. That's what I said. And the legal pads are yellow, hours long, paid packaging, I mean, obviously that's what you get. I think that's your rations, basically. And the telex riders chattered that was your ET phone home. Was I guess you are an extraterrestrial if you're across seas trying to phone home. Car parks made me jumpy. That I don't really understand. Car parks. The car parks made me jumpy. I don't know. I never stopped the dreams of the nightmares, the night terrors, or the growing need for speed in the game. Yeah. So powerful. And I love the way he's performing. That man is sweating. I do the same thing. I'll sweat when I watch somebody else sweat. It's it's a family tradition, actually, but hey, actually, it's proven the more you sweat, the less you stink. This is because your sweat glands don't have time to ferment, basically kind of like alcohol. I mean, does fresh fruit smell better when you smash it, or an old rotten grape? Mine arms are fresh fruit. Whoa. Oh, by the way, the guitar player. Right there. Okay, you'll probably hear just the audio from my TV on that part, but their harmonies are great. The guitar player, his name is Ian Moss. Ian Moss is who I'm assuming is on the guitar. I've actually heard of Ian Moss before, the John Farnham Frenzy fair that came to my little channel, which I'm very thankful for. I love cotton candy. Let's get back to it. Yeah, I'm gonna hear that harmonica part again. I love harmonicas. Alice in Chains incorporates a lot of harmonica in their songs. It's beautiful. I hear the keyboards. He's tearing the keys up. Reminds me of Styx. So I worked across the country from end to end, trying to find a place to settle down where my mixed up life could mend. I held a job on an oil rig flying choppers when I could, but the nightlife nearly drove me around the bend. And I've traveled around the world from year to year, and each one found me aimless. One more year, the worse for wear. And I've been back to Southeast Asia, and the answer ain't there. But I'm drifting north to check things out again. Yes, I am. That repeats itself the last time, so. Well, the last plane out of Sydney's almost gone. I'm not sure if they sung this yet, I'm sorry. But we're going to go and cover it. And only 7 flying hours, and I'll be landing in Hong Kong. If there ain't nothing like the kisses from a jaded jet Chinese princess, I'm going to hit some Hong Kong mattresses all night long. Look, I had a feeling, that's what I meant in the beginning of this video. This cat grew up more like I did than John, okay? I don't mean that in a bad way. We'd probably pick the wrong path. But I can relate with him more as far as the darker side of his lyrics, is all I'm saying. I still think John's the better singer. But I'm learning that you don't compare these. Kind of like, well, I hate to keep referencing other bands. Like Lane Staley and Maynard. They were really good friends. House of Chains, Tool and Chains. We just don't compare them as fans of both bands. So, yeah, and then the last plane out of Sydney's gone again. Same thing, almost gone. And it's really got me worried. I'm going nowhere in a hurry. I know the last plane out of Sydney's almost gone. Well, the last plane out of Sydney's almost gone. You know the last plane out, yeah. So it got me worried. I'm going nowhere in a hurry. You know the last plane out of Sydney's almost gone. So let's back it up to the harmonica part, and we'll finish the song out. Loving it though, honestly. Oh, when he, I think he was a little drunk because he falls on the piano and he's just like, I've been there, man. We just need to lean on something. Lean on me, please. I'm not so strong. Oh, yeah. The fedora rocks too. Hey. I know my neighbor told me, what the hell is he clapping at 7 o'clock in the morning? Okay, so I knew I would enjoy it. Yeah. Jimmy Barnes, Flesh and Wood. Flesh and Wood. He's a lover. He reminds me kind of a mix between Conway Twitty and Bruce Springsteen. That's a good thing, man. It's two of my favorite people. Conway was the panty dropper, just period, which is what they call him. Let me lay you down, girl. So yeah, I enjoyed this thoroughly. I resonate with this cat a lot better than I do John. And purely means nothing as far as talent or enjoying their music. I feel like I got to know him a little better. There was a newer version of this, but I wanted to see. I wanted it in chronological order, damn it. Now I wanted to check the first version out. Live 1993. 1993 was, well, I got my license the next year. So, yeah, pretty profound time in my life. I was super into Pink Floyd, Styx, Marshall Tucker Band, The Outlaws, Greengrass and High Tides. It's an amazing song. These guys kind of reminded me of the way they all jam the harmonica, the keyboards, the vocal, the backing vocals. Homeboy can sing. If that's Ian, he can sing. Because I heard his voice clear with the rasp, as OGL would always say, the contrast. That rhymes. And I had a great time. So, peace out. This is going to be a really long reaction, but it's our introduction to Cold Chisel. Love it. Mental health is real. Be a part of the start. Love you, Australia. There's a link below if you want to tip the channel. You know what to do. Other than that, support, comments, likes, all that's great. Much love from North Carolina, where if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change.